Hey guys, welcome back to Maelstrom Game Studios, and today we're going to talk about those awesome reveals we saw in the Warhammer reveal show yesterday. I thought about live streaming it. I didn't. I just watched it and I'm going to do kind of my reaction video. There was a lot of stuff, a lot of awesome stuff. The Tyranid stuff, which we'll mainly talk about today, is not what I expected. It is cool, but it is not what I expected. So we're going to talk about it today. Not too much to say beforehand. Just thank you guys who subscribe, watch, stay up to date. Thank you, members. Most importantly, and all of you who check out the Shopify link down below. So with all that, let's dive into today's video. Before we talk about Tyranids, I'm going to put some timestamps down. If you want to skip straight to the Tyranid stuff, go ahead. I don't care. But I do just want to talk about all the other stuff because it is really cool. There was a lot of sweet reveals. So let us go ahead and do that. I'm going to switch to this kind of camera. We're going to just go down one at a time. First off, we're going to look at the Space Wolves. I'm not going to watch the whole video thing. You can do that. But I'm just going to talk about and look at some of the models. I will say Space Wolves do have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart. Calvin, if you guys have seen him on the channel, actually he'll be in the members only battle report next week. His first main army was Space Wolves. Now these were 5th edition Space Wolves, so very different, but that's what I grew up fighting against, was Space Wolves all the time. So seeing them get some love and showing some of their classic units in new style is awesome. The Blood Claws, there was rumors Blood Claws weren't going to make it, and they have, so I love to see that. Grey Hunters just look like fancy and better intercessors, which is what they always kind of were compared to Tactical Marines. This is the controversial one in my opinion. The Wolf Guard Head Takers, while it is an awesome unit, it's another one of those melee units of 3, which GWs seem to be scaling down towards just 3-man squads. It does have 3 wolves, which is cool. But you'll notice there's no Thunderwolf Cavalry, which is unfortunate because Thunderwolf Cavalry are super cool. And if they get sent to Legends, I don't know any Space Wolf player who's going to be happy about that. They are kind of really iconic unit. I wish they brought them back in some form. Maybe in the future they will, but right now it doesn't look like it. Wolfguard Battle Leader here. It'll be interesting to see if this guy can feel or command these guys and Terminators, or if they are just going to be... Oh, I mean, come on, look at that pose. Look at that guy. That's awesome. You can give him a Storm Shield too, and a Thunderhammer. Classic Space Wolf stuff. And the Wolf Priest. That head right there is amazing. So I'm glad to see the Space Wolves get some love. Unfortunately, they got the same Codex cover, no new art, which is unfortunate. And the other thing I guess I'm curious about is, did they, are they going to keep their Dreadnoughts? I think they should, but I don't know. All in all, it's a basic block, but it is a cool one nonetheless. Love to see the Space Wolves. We then have the Crusade book, Armageddon and Grey Knights. I don't know if they put the revealed in here. This is just more narrative stuff. Oh, it did. Okay, so Codex Grey Knights is in here. This one also kind of came out of left field a little bit. I did not expect it to be now. There was talk of it, but I expected it to be towards the later end of this year. And they now have Nemesis, Grandmaster in Nemesis Dread Knight upgrade kit. This does look cool. Unfortunately, it's still the baby carrier, but you have some cool weapons. It's interesting to see the stat line. And most importantly, for Grey Knights, you have some giant super melta, which I'm guessing is probably going to be like a strength 10 or 12 multi-melta. So I don't know. We'll see. But he does look cool. The whole cape there, which is what everyone was already doing. Connor has a custom Dread Knight Grandmaster that I made. It's got a cape there. It doesn't have a book, but a book is an excellent option. So that sounds like it's coming soon. At least it's something cool. And then maybe this teases towards... Oh, actually, we know it teases towards some other stuff, but we'll talk about that later. We then have the rest of the Chaos Gods. Now, these are some interesting ones. This guy, the World Eaters, who are supposed to be right around the corner now. The World Eater dude looks awesome. Oh, I never even noticed his arm is molded into the weapon. So this is the... What is his fancy name? Slaughterbound. Basically a lord for the 8-bound. It's instead of demons, it's a full-blown bloodthirster that is within him, which is kind of cool. All right, some new codex cover artwork there. They did mention in the Warhammer preview when they were talking about it that this guy can revive 8-bound, and if he's able to buff 8-bound in any way, part of me kind of hopes 8-bound get a little bit of a tone down, because already having a 6-man squad is brutal, but then you add a character which makes them better and revives them. It's going to be some nasty stuff, unless he's really expensive. But we don't know his stats. He's probably got 6 wounds at toughness 6 or 7, maybe a 2-up save, but it might still be a 3-up save with a 4-up invuln, of course. So yeah, he looks great. Then we got Death Guard. Oh, that's a great codex cover there. Death Guard got an awesome one. Jealous as a Tyranid player. And they got this guy. We already knew he was coming. He was leaked accidentally or on purpose, who knows. But he looks awesome. Interesting to see exactly what he can do in the codex. But their codex is coming. And then we got these guys. These controversial stuff for the 1,000 Suns. When I first saw them, I thought they were ugly. Ugly. But as I've looked at them more, they are growing on me. I will be honest. They are growing at me the more I look at them. I think the head options are a little funky, and I don't even know if there are options. But, and that's a great codex cover. But they do look kind of cool. They're kind of mummified 1,000 Sun robot things. They will be in some areas, like in the chest here, an absolute nightmare to paint, and to paint to look good. But if you have the patience, luckily it's not everywhere. It's, well, actually it's the missile racks, the chest, and the legs, the bottom half of the legs. Not as bad, but I think they are cool. We'll see how many you can take, what they exactly do. They do look like they have some decent firepower. They probably have some good rules. They did mention they can Overwatch for free, which, you know, maybe if they have a rule to Overwatch on 5s or something, that'll be better. But if it's 2 guys shooting a couple flamers and missiles for free on your opponent's turn, okay, but who knows exactly what they entail. Again, very awesome codex cover. And then they have all the limited edition codexes, which they haven't showed off the 1,000 Suns one. Interesting. Again, very cool looking. Is it worth it to you? It's not. It wouldn't be to me at all, but very, very cool there. Then I want to talk about Grand Cathay for just like 1 minute, so allow me to. These things look awesome. I am going to be really struggling not to purchase this box set, if this is a box set when it comes out. It's probably going to be expensive, but my God, they look really cool. They look really, really, really cool. The big ogre dudes with the cannons is fine. Not that one is cool. This thing is cool. This dude is cool. This thing is wacky, and maybe it'll actually be useful. Who knows? This is probably my favorite. Not this head. This head I hate. But the cool statue monster guy. This is the head that I'm sold on. So I'm liking that one a lot. I'm really liking them. And then the dragon is cool. It's the Chinese or style dragon, so it's not the big wings like we're, more Western cultures associated with dragons. It's more the Chinese, so they don't have wings. They're more serpents in the sky. It does look cool. I think this is one where I'm going to need to see the full 180 pose in my hand to fully enjoy it. But I do really like the dragon. Honestly, the head is almost too scary. It's not like a typical Chinese dragon. See if it's a little more scary horror than what a typical one is. But I don't care. I love it. So I'm going to be really hard-pressed not to purchase these guys. A giant hole in my wallet hopefully will not be formed. Maybe I'll pick up a character or two, but they look awesome. Yeah, the last thing we'll talk about before we get to Tyranids, there's a chapter approved mission deck coming. It's probably coming in June-ish, if I had to guess. And it is going to be quite interesting to see how this affects tournament play, because there's something called asymmetric war, and I don't know if that's going to be in tournament play. If not, it is an awesome addition to the collection, because here on a casual report we do, tournament play is asymmetric stuff is exactly what I'm looking for. So it's not totally standard. It'll be interesting if they have deployment with the L-shaped ruins and stuff that go along with it, like they do in the Pariah Nexus tournament pack. Maybe there's something there. And then there are these new challenger cards, which is supposed to replace missions, or sorry, they replaced the other fancy you select 4 missions, and it escaped my brain, so sorry. But they replaced those. And it looks like you can actually buy some objective markers. Flexible PET material. Huh? That's interesting. They look cool. Unless they're like $50, I don't know about it, but maybe if they're like $30 like a normal set, then that's a pretty cool thing. So again, main thing they're showing off is the asymmetric war. So I don't know how that'll play. And they also have setups for 1,000-point games. So cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I'll see what it is when it's fully fleshed out, but it should provide some much needed variety to anyone's gameplay who's not just looking to play tournaments over and over again. Now, the moment we've been waiting for. Kill Team Typhon, which is the Tyranid-based one. I'm not going to watch the video. I don't want to get any issues here. This is not what I was expecting. I was not expecting a unique Ravener brood. It's cool. It's really cool. It's not at all what I was expecting. So, what we have here are 6 new Ravener variants. We've got a Ravener Prime, who looks very fishy, literally, in the way he's got this weird gill thing on his head. He reminds me a lot of a weird fish. We have the Fell Talon. If you guys don't know, this is Kill Team. If I didn't mention, I did probably say Kill Team Typhon, but so Kill Team is more, each model has their own role sort of thing instead of working as a full unit, which is why it's not just 5 or 6 Raveners. So you got a Fell Talon, looks like maybe it's a toxic poison type dude. We've got the Thermo Scythe, which maybe he's got some like shooting, like a Melta shooty brain blast, maybe. Otherwise, I'm not entirely sure what he causes. We've got the Wrecker, which is just a Ravener with crushing claws, which in my opinion looks kind of goofy, but could be cool. Probably essentially grant him some power fist type weapons. Hopefully not a -1 to hit like it is on the Tyrant Guard, but you know, there he is. Then we've got the Venom Spitter, which is probably going to have some level of flamer, like an acid spray, something similar to the Pyrovore in a way. And we have a basic Warrior, which is just if you were to have a new Ravener, this is what he is. He's got, 6 claws, and that's it. Now, important note here, which isn't well mentioned, is that there are 6 variants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, in the box, you can only build 5 of them. So you're going to have to either magnetize or pick and choose which ones you build. I think your best bet is to take the Warrior and the Wrecker, and all you should really have to do is magnetize the top limbs. Otherwise, he is identical. So that's what I would do, is I would build each one individually, the Venom Spitter, the Thermoscythe, the Felltown, and the Prime, and then I would probably magnetize the Warrior and the Wrecker, because it seems like a very simple thing. The big question that still stands is, how does this interact in 40k? Everything in Kill Team gets 40k rules. Will this be a new subset of Raveners? So we have regular Raveners and we have these Raveners? Or will it now be your Raveners can include, you know, these models in part of their brood? So you could take 6 Raveners and you could take a couple of these. The main thing that I just don't know is that if this is a 5-man squad, Raveners currently are 3 and 6. How are they going to match that up if they combine the data sheet? Maybe they won't, and you can just take this as its own data sheet. They didn't do that when it came to the Vespid. The Vespid, you built 10, but you chose 5 to field. Will this be you build 5 and you choose 3 to field? Maybe. But again, I don't know. You take a Prime, you take a Felltown, and take a Thermoscythe. I kind of hope they're their own data sheets so you can spam them, but also I kind of hope that you can just add these models into your Ravener brood, though it might look a little funny because these guys, quite honestly, don't look anything like the current Raveners. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about how that's going to affect us. But I will probably be picking up 2 sets of these guys when it first comes out. There is more. Well, you can quickly glance at. There are some AdMech, some new servitors, which are actually pretty cool. So maybe I'll keep a set of 2 of those. But this guy's funny. I already have plenty of those. But the servitors are cool. They're just another part in this big box set. So you're not just buying Raveners. You're buying Raveners. You're buying AdMech. And you're buying Tyranid terrain. Look at this. Oh, they have no bigger pictures. Unfortunate. This terrain looks fantastic. And my number one goal to do with it right now is... Oh, hold on. There we go. My number one goal with it right now is to think, how can I properly integrate this into a normal competitive table? Right now, I can show you a top-down here quickly. You've got a competitive table. Spoilers to a future about... Oh no, this was the live stream, so you guys have seen it. But you've got your L's. How can we incorporate that type of layout with this terrain? Initial guts say this piece right here and this piece can fit the small little L's. These 2 could also fit the small L's, but they almost seem like they would be better suited in some extension of a L-shaped ruin, where they're kind of the tail end of the L-shaped ruin. So my thought is, for me personally, you guys do what you want, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. If I'm getting 2 boxes of these, I have 4 of these funky little gestation sack things. They are going to be the 4 small rectangles. Then you've got these 4 of these, so 2 and 2. Those are going to be extensions of some of the side ruins. Some of them often are L, and then there's a section of, what do you call it, just open area terrain. I might put those in that area and make it work. This weird piece, I really don't know what to do with. Maybe I slap it on my display board or something, or just as some extra area terrain that I keep on its own and just set up randomly. It's just a weird one. I wish it was an additional little spire, but it is what it is. This one could go on the edge of a building or something like that. And then these 2 can be also with L-shaped ruins. I know I don't want to totally build it into L-shaped ruins, but if we're playing tournament play, I want to see how I can do like an infested sector or something with it, which is kind of my goal. You also in the book obviously get some of this stuff, so back to the things. We'll see. It looks cool. I'm glad they finally have built it back. It's been, I don't know, 10 years since the stuff was officially gone from the Forge World website. And then again, it was Forge World. So now that it's in plastic, it should be much easier to work with. This one, these 5 are my favorite. I don't really understand what this one is or this one. And this is just like, it makes me think there's a Turvagon trapped in the ground upside down, and it's just its sack is hanging out. So I don't really know, where does it open? Does the carapace chitin piece here just peel off and then gaunts come out? Do they just peel out of the side of it? I don't know. It is a wonky piece. The only thing I don't think they have shown is the scale of it exactly. They're not actually that big when it comes to the pieces. These ones are a little tall. This one is clearly pretty tall. But these things look like they roughly stand, I don't know, an inch or two tall. So they're not that big. They're not that big like they were with the older ones. That's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. We'll end off here looking at Fish Boy here. So yeah, that's what I got. Let me know what you guys think. This was not what I was anticipating. I kind of wish they did it with Shrikes because, well, you could have a ranged Shrike. You could have a heavy weapon range Shrike. You could have different melee variants on the Shrikes. I wish they did that instead. Ravners are cool. These are cool models. Maybe it's the blue that's giving me the fish vibes as well, and maybe they'll look very different in different paint schemes. But yeah, I still like them. I still like them. I'm still going to get them. We're going to show them off. We're going to see if we can find a competitive use for them in 40K. Add them to our collection here and everything. And I am looking forward to the Tyranid terrain. And we'll make a board. We'll make a new board with this terrain. Should it be jungle or desert? I kind of like desert because it's like the Tyranids have already sucked a lot of the life out of the planet. Plus, I've got a desert board that could use a little TLC on its terrain layout. So maybe we'll do that. But that's what we got. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time here at Maelstrom Gaming Studios.